My mom put me to circus school. I'm from the north of France. There was a small school there, and it was just as a hobby to do something outside of school. And I remember that I really didn't like it at the beginning because there was too much kid and I was very shy. And later on, we were in a small group, and the actual hard training started when we were around, I don't know, I would say 8. And starting then, we did floor acrobatics, handstand, hand to hand, and the training was a little more intense, and that's what actually picked it up. And the really cool thing back then is professional people were allowed to come train in that same space. So basically, as a kid, I just got to see real life superheroes, and it just clicked, and I never stopped. The casting department of Cirque du Soleil, when they start a new creation, they have a huge artist database, and they're gonna give the choices to the director and people in charge to actually say, okay, we have these choices that fit the criteria you gave us, and I was one of these guys, and that's pretty much how it worked out. They knew I was type of discipline or this type of specific act, which is the cane stacking that you stack on top of each other and you can swing on them. So they called me for this, and then it just worked out, and I started creation end of 2015. What's specific about this act is actually about the apparatus that they built that represent a buoy. I'm supposed to be a lifeguard as the character in this act, but it's also a movie set. The whole character throughout the show, actually, if you don't see me in the act, my costume is gonna look like this, and I'm wearing that wrestling mask. And that comes from a character that's called Nacho Libre in Mexico. And actually, what was cool about this guy, it's in Mexican wrestling, you only take off your mask when your career is over. So when you see these guys performing, you have no idea who actually is the person. And that guy, when he took off his mask, actually, people realized that he was a famous actor back then. And that's the idea they used for this character in the show. So when you see me with the mask, it's the El Santo. And when I actually perform handstand, you will see if you get to come see the show, that it's actually a movie set. There's a director giving orders and everything, all the figurants around, and I'm the main actor in the show. The amount of training we do is also gonna depend the amount of shows we have per week. It usually varies between 8 and 10 shows a week. So let's say if we have a day we would have 3 shows, it's gonna be a quick warm up. Usually I'm always gonna do some physio exercise for shoulder stability, because this act is mostly upper body work and a lot of shoulder stuff. So you want to make sure all the little stabilizers are firing properly. So for this, is going to be my main warm up every day. That's going to last maybe, I want to say, 40 minutes, big maximum time to do shoulder stuff, a little bit of core. Then there will be a handstand training if we have 1 show a day. And I try to go to the gym, I would say 4 or 5 times a week, but I keep that in the morning away from the show. So we have recovery time to have energy for the show at night. The important part for this is we do between 300 and 400 shows a year, so it's more of a marathon and not a sprint. You want to find the cruising mode where you feel good, the act is stable, and you don't get injured. That's the important part. Finding a good mentor is the most important. And then again, it's having people around you that's gonna give you also good energy to push you. I don't know, if I look at my parents, they were always supporting me no matter what my choice. And then it's to find mentor that give you the good basic technique that's gonna open all the doors for what you want to do after. And also frequency, you want to do it every day, but be smart about it. There's quality and quantity, you need to balance that stuff. I think that's pretty much it. It's just
All right, well, thank you so much.
thank you.
All right, bye-bye.